This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glynn Lavender.
Happy New Year and welcome
Feliz
2023.
Feliz Navidad.
That was last month, Glynn. Hi and welcome to episode 541 of Shutters Inc. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com, and joining us, full of merriment and mirth or something, it's Mr. Glynn Lavender.
Just when you thought we were finally gone.
Yes. Mr. Glynn Lavender from creativephotoworkshops.com.au. How was your Christmas and New Year silly season?
It was about 2 weeks long, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. How long's it been since we talked?
Oh, about a month.
Really?
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
Doesn't feel like it. It was nothing.
Oh, okay.
Mostly uneventful.
Okay.
Yeah, and weather was pleasant. A nice Christmas day here.
Just the four of you and the kitty cats?
No, we had my in-laws and my wife's sister and her husband and their two kids.
Right.
A little family gathering here on Christmas Day. Then at my sister's place the following day for my family, which was just about everyone except for my brother and his wife. So my entire family got under one roof, which does not happen very often.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was okay. Then just bumming around waiting for New Year to be over and done with. Yeah, stop the people firing fireworks off and annoying the dogs in the neighbourhood.
Yeah.
So that takes about 10 days on average. So that stop happening. And then school holidays, and it's just been trying to do a few things with the kids. But I don't know, it's been a funny one. We sort of haven't done anything. It's got the weather's been all over the shop. It's boiling hot 1 minute. Yesterday it was 38 degrees. Today it was 18 degrees. It's just bizarre. And that's it. I bought a bike.
What sort of bike?
Buy a bike. I got given. I didn't get given. I acquired.
Right.
I
fell off the back of a truck.
I wrangled deals to the point where I got given an e-bike. Well, not given. I got an e-bike.
Right.
For minus $250.
Right. They paid you to take it away.
Pretty much. Yeah, I got paid, effectively given $250 for a $1,500 e-bike.
Right.
Which I thought was a pretty good deal. It was a good start to post-Christmas.
So what you're saying is you paid $1,250 for a $1,500 bike?
No. I got given $250 to take away a $1,500 bike.
What?
Yeah. So I got minus $250.
Wow.
I'm up $250 and I've got an e-bike.
Okay.
So I'm pretty pleased with that.
So you're about square.
And I've been good. I've been getting out, and the reason I went the e-bike is for my cardiac health.
Yep.
I want to get out and cycle.
Excellent.
But I don't want to ever get to a point where if I'm in a situation where I can't cycle, but I'm still kilometres away from home, I'm in deep trouble, or I get to a hill where it's going to require too much effort to do it.
Yep.
Without so the assisted lift of the you still have to pedal, but the bike has different levels of push to kind of assist you up hills and stuff like that. So that's been working out really well until I hurt my back.
Oh, jeez. How'd you manage that?
Well, I lifted a really heavy couch one-handed, and whilst I held it up in the air, I bent over to look underneath it.
Right.
Now, you may find this hard to believe, but my wife was not impressed. Both to take the chance of blowing the fuffer valve by lifting up, say, 50-kilo couch one-handed, and then whilst holding it in the airloft, looking underneath it to see if I could find the thing I was looking for.
Right.
Which incidentally, I didn't.
Yeah.
So that's been like 10 days of recovery from that. That was a lot of pain for a fair few days. So,
that's not good.
Won't be doing that again anytime soon.
Good to hear.
But most I've done on the bike so far, I think it's a 12K cycle so far.
Oh, mate, that's great.
Yeah, I've been trying to get out, and I said, unfortunately, the last week or so I haven't been able to because I couldn't stand, let alone.
Yeah.
But cycle. But no, hopefully back tomorrow I'll get out. It's finally. Today was the first day I've been actually walking around and not felt in pain. So
yeah, right.
I'll see if I can aggravate it in the morning on the bike.
And do you feel like you're putting in a fair amount of effort into the riding?
Most times, I took one ride out, which was like about 8K, all on the most electric push,
right?
Just to see what it was like,
sure.
Just to see what the bike was capable of. But most of the times, I probably do 85% with no help.
Nice. Good work.
And then do that, that little bit, and I might start to fatigue on the way home, so I give it a little bit of a slow kick. But there's one spot where I've got to go, my track. I do my trail. There's a hill which is fairly high, but it's about 600 metre climb. At a probably a 45-degree angle. Yeah. So it's pretty decent.
That's
land
challenging.
Up.
Yep.
Yeah, and so but on the assisted lift, it's like cycling on a flat.
Yeah,
there's
nice.
no effort. It's absolutely zero effort other than just having to pedal. So that's really good. And my goal is to slowly back off the lift and see how the body copes.
Mate, that is great to hear. I'm really happy for you. That's good.
Yeah, so I figure that's going to be a bit of good cardio stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
That's kind of the goal. And the fact that, it cost me squat nothing is... to explain, because inquiring minds may want to know how you get such a fantastic deal. I was with a certain phone carrier that had all my details stolen.
Oh,
online. So and so
did their name begin with an O?
It does. And being the cranky old bugger that I am, I thought, well, I'm going to move. I'm going to move carriers,
right?
Because I wasn't on a plan. I was just on a month to month, so I was going to move carriers. Being the procrastinator that I am, I did that for about 4 months, thinking I was going. And then the day before, or 2 days before Christmas, I happened to be going past our local massive electronics store, which starts with a J and ends in a B.
Yeah.
And they had, bring your phone over to this other provider for 2 years, and we'll give you a $1,200 gift card.
Wow.
And the plan was $99 less, and they had a $10 off special. So it was down to $89 for a month for 2 years, which is what, that's $2,400 roughly?
Yeah.
Give or take. And so, and they're giving like 50% back in voucher, basically.
Right.
So, well, that's pretty good. But I didn't do anything with it. Because I procrastinated. And then Christmas, Boxing Day, then the day after Boxing Day, it's gone up to $1,400. It's gone up another $200.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, go. Went in, got the... Now, I was already paying $95 a month anyway.
Right.
So I'm actually down $5 a month from my normal plan.
Yep.
And I get the $1,400 voucher, and the bike was on special for 25% off. From $1,700 down to, I think it was like, I can't remember, it was $1,250 or something like that.
Right.
But when I got home, I was told, ring up the new phone supplier and tell them that you've come across because of the data breach.
Yep.
And they'll give you another $10 a month off your plan. So I did. So they gave me another $10 a month off my plan as well.
So you're down to $80 a month.
Down to $79 a month. And so I'm actually saving $20, almost $20 a month from my previous plan.
Yep.
So over 2 years, that's $250 or whatever saving. And if you think, all up, I'm winner chicken dinner. Yeah. And I've got a bike.
Wow.
So, and hopefully some health. I'll be here to be able to use the phone for those 2 years.
How do you know that your data was part of the breach?
I got all they sent me letters and emails and hello, and then the government, because they got your driver's license details and stuff.
Yeah.
So the people, the body that looks after the driver's license sent you things saying you've been compromised, and you now need to have this secondary number attached to your driver's license. So it's a twin check kind of system until you can get a new license sent out to you and stuff. And so that was interesting, Georgia. I might add though, the emails they sent out saying I had a data breach went into spam. Yeah, so I didn't even see it. I didn't even know I'd had a data breach because the thing was so badly put out that I get all the other emails from that company, for bills and that sort of stuff. That all shows up, but the one saying you'd been hacked,
I ask because our home internet is provided by said company. So I should probably get in touch and go, was I part of the breach?
Yeah. They should have contacted you. Yeah. Apparently they've contacted everyone they should have contacted.
Right.
So that's that. Let's see what else. The other exciting things. I got a bit of bad case of gas.
Oh, what have you bought?
Yeah. Oh, I bought a new amp for my guitar.
For your guitar. Okay, what sort of amp did you get?
I got a Black Star from England.
Right.
A Black Star modelling amp. And,
okay.
And I promised myself, okay, this is Glynn, you can satiate this piece of gas, and then you're going to hold on, no more gas for a while. Then you're gonna wait. The thing's in the mail, hasn't even arrived yet. Next day, ooh, gee, I wouldn't mind a Telecaster. So now I want a new guitar. I can't play the three I've got.
Oh dear.
Now I'm hot and heavy and on the lookout for a deal. For a Telecaster.
You must have a very tolerant wife.
Well, it's all her money because she's the one who does all the earning. So
that's what I mean.
It's and she can tell when I'm on my next obsession because I watch lots of YouTube videos on the subject.
Right.
And so I research like crazy on stuff. And so all of a sudden she'll go past and she'll say a YouTube content of stuff that she hadn't seen before. She goes, "Oh, what is it now?" So my amp hopefully arrives by Monday or Tuesday. Let's see if I've got a guitar before
nice.
then or not. No, I doubt. We're a COVID house at the moment, so I can't see myself going anywhere.
Right.
Next few days, my eldest has the dreaded lurgy, so she's always it's the first anniversary. She had it 12 months ago and got it again exactly 12 months later. So
wow.
it's nice to celebrate. I hope she has to do it every year.
Yes.
That's kind of
Yeah,
U95. Here comes my 73rd
dose of COVID. Yeah.
And how's your mate? You've been up to I forgot my tripod headland.
That's right.
Haven't you? Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell us this little story.
I could not believe that.
No, come on, yes you could.
That is the first time I've ever done that. We got to Darwin, checked into our motel, set up our Christmas tree, which consisted of 2 sets of $5 battery-operated LED light strands that we picked up at a $2 shop, wrapped around a pedestal lamp that was in the motel room, or hotel room, and we put all of our presents on the ground around the pedestal lamp, and I then decided, okay, we'll do a family photo of the three of us beside our Christmas tree, and opened up the camera bag, and I'm looking around going, where's my mounting plate? And did not have it, and thankfully, just before I left to head to the airport to go to Darwin, I had sitting on the bookcase behind me one of those tiny little ball heads, screw-on ball heads that you use generally for putting off-camera flash somewhere.
Or GoPros or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're only good for holding about, half a kilo. And I had that, and I just went, I'll chuck that in the camera bag just in case, So for the time that we were away, that was my only way of mounting my camera on the tripod.
Man.
So it was a case of taking my, 3-way head off the tripod and then screwing on this tiny little ball.
Now, I've got to tell you, I've done that before.
So
exactly
I was very annoyed with myself for that. So, and of course, I got home and there it is sitting right on the desk, right here where I left it.
Oh, God. But did you get any photos in? I haven't seen any photos being posted.
Look, to be honest, I was a little underwhelmed. Admittedly, we went in the wet season.
Yeah. Isn't that when you had the good storms?
Well, yeah, but no, there wasn't. Certainly not in the time that we were there. We saw a little bit of lightning way out to sea, but nothing over Darwin itself. The first 5 days we had just intermittent showers on and off throughout the days, but then the last 2 days it really opened up. And then we did get down to Catherine and did the...
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So the Catherine Gorge, but it now has its traditional name, and I can't remember how to pronounce it. Nitmaluk, I think it is.
Malacca.
So we did the Gorge cruise, which is actually on 2 different boats. So you take one boat up a gorge.
And the little one.
Actually, they're about the same size, but it's just that one is downstream of the rapids, and one they actually got upstream of the rapids, when there was so much water that the rapids were, So you go up as far as the rapids, you jump out, you walk about 200 metres past the rapids to where the other boat's moored, and then you jump on the other boat and do the other half. But it was a lovely cruise, and we did that on Boxing Day. And we drove the 3.5 hours down to Catherine and got into Catherine around about lunchtime, and there was nothing open. Not a thing. And we're going, where do we get lunch? I actually went into the bottle-o, because the bottle-o was open, of course. And I said to the guy, I said, mate, where will I get lunch around here? And he goes, oh, you can try this place. I went, no, that's shut. And he goes, oh, and you got the pub next door? I went, no, that's shut. And he goes, oh, there's a cafe over in the shopping centre. I went, no, that's shut. We ended up at Macca's.
Oh, God. No choice.
It was the only thing we could find that was open. But then we went out, did the 2.5 hour gorge river cruise, and that was it was interesting, and we heard great commentary, and I took a whole bunch of photos of rock faces.
Yeah,
but
it's not interesting.
It's not interesting stuff, really. They're not the sort of images you're going to look at in the dim distant future and look back
even next week.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like looking back at my Europe photos from 2017, for example, or Sri Lanka and the Maldives from 2019.
And when do you look at those?
I look at those. You'd be surprised. I look at them a lot.
Really?
I really do. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But anyway, so photographically, it wasn't a particularly inspiring trip. We had hoped to get to Litchfield National Park, which is about an hour and a half out of Darwin, but we left that to the second last day, and of course that was when the big rain started. And there are basically 2 roads that'll get you into Litchfield, and the way I'd looked at it on the map, I thought, oh, this is cool, we can do it as a loop. And we took the one route to go into the park, and we seriously got about 10 kilometres from the waterfall that we were aiming for, and we came across floodwaters across the road that were probably 100, 150 metres across. And it's like, we're not taking a risk getting through that.
No.
So it was turned around, and so it was like, okay, well, we'll see if we can get into the park via the other road. So we drove all the way back around the national park for an hour and a bit, and then got down that road and found more floodwater across the road, and it was actually while we were at that little bit of floodwater, as I was turning the car around, I said to Kath, actually, I'm going to get out. I'll take a couple of photos here. That probably the most interesting thing of the week happened. This other it was like a Triton 4x4, flat tray thing, just kind of pulls up. And he turned off the road onto this little dirt track right near where I'd pulled up. And he only drove in about 10, 15 metres, and he stops and he gets out and he says to me, he calls out to me, he goes, oh, I hope you don't mind. He said, I'm just letting a snake loose. I was like,
okay,
as you do. What do you got? And he said, oh, just an olive python.
It wasn't the trouser.
No, that's right. Just an olive python, he says, and lets this thing loose. And, it would have been a good 2.5 metres in length. And he said, this is probably...
Do you know what they call them when they get to 3.14 metres long? Pythons. Yeah,
right.
Just plain python.
Yes. So he said this is about the 3rd time I've let this one go. He said it was about 80 centimetres the first time, and it was about 1.5 metres the second time.
How do you know it's the same one?
Oh, I guess he's obviously a rural, he lives in a rural environment, and he said they come around all the time, and there is a bigger one that's about 5 metres that comes around as well. He said they come for my chooks. He said, and every now and again I'll actually let them get a chook because, it's just part of the cycle of life, and I've got more chooks than I know what to do.
I don't know how many chooks were up in the Northern Territory before a white man came.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
Just quietly. I'm not sure if it's like feeding ducks bread down at the lake. It's not the circle of life, mate. It's not natural food.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was interesting. He just had this python in a bloody pillowcase, and he just pulled it out of the back of the ute and just dropped it down on the ground, and off it slithered into the bush. He said normally I'd take it over the creek, he said, but the creek the way it is at the moment, I can't get through. And he said he'll probably be back in a couple of days. I said, where do you live? And he goes, about 2 k's up the road.
Maybe they can find their way back.
Yeah. So, but absolutely love Darwin. The climate was very similar to Borneo. I didn't mind
less orangutans, though?
Less orangutans, yes, definitely. But it was quite pleasant while we were there. It was like 31, 32 degrees pretty much the whole time.
Cold time of the year.
That's right. Well, they don't have hot and cold. They just have wet and dry, So.
Wet and wetter. No,
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Because when it's dry, you're wet.
Yeah.
And when it's wet and you're wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did the humidity just kill me?
Yeah, right. I didn't mind it. I don't mind it.
Yeah, but you're a New South Wales person. You get more humidity up there than we do. Yeah. We only have dry heat down here, so yeah. Sweating like a sweaty thing.
It was good. Max's girlfriend flew up and spent a few days with him, and they were meant to have a free concert on the foreshore on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
With the band Birds of Tokyo and some DJs and whatnot. And then the night before, on the 30th, there was a weather warning issued saying that for New Year's Eve they were expecting 90-kilometre-an-hour winds through Darwin, and that the council would release a statement at 10 o'clock the following morning to say whether or not the New Year's Eve celebrations were going ahead, and at 10 o'clock they said, nah, it's not happening. Man. So that was a bit disappointing for the young'uns who were looking forward to a good time, but we'd flown out by that stage, of course, because we flew out that morning. But so we had a great time though. Absolutely loved it, and we're definitely going to go back in the dry season, or at least in the shoulder season. Yeah, because Max is going to be there until at least 25.
Wow.
So Kath and I think
plenty of more visits.
Yeah, so we're thinking we'll probably head up there for Easter of 24. Because if we leave it till June, July, then you've got absolutely just wall-to-wall tourists.
Yeah, school holidays.
Yeah, and because it's the peak of the dry season, that's when most people go up there. And so we've decided we'll probably head up there for Easter.
Nice.
Yes.
Doesn't mean no one goes on holidays at Easter.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, it was good. It was good. We enjoyed it. So I took photos here and there, but there was just nothing that really blew my socks off.
You took photos, but you took pictures, not photos.
Exactly.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
I've been shooting.
Yeah.
I've been out shooting the old Kangaroos football team again.
Oh, nice.
They've been, so I went 3 times last week, and I was out there again today in the rain today. That's how enthusiastic I am. I've been out there in the rain, so I've been out shooting my boys.
Excellent.
And, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a different experience going down and sort of, watching pre-season as it changes, how they're, their techniques and the drills they have to do, the patterns of running, all the stuff just slowly changes over a period of time.
Yeah, right.
If you only go once in a blue moon, you can't really tell. You just see different stuff. But when you go each time, you kind of see a gradation. Okay, they're doing less time on that than they did last week, and now they're doing a bit more on that than they did. And it kind of it shifts.
Yeah, right.
It's interesting stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
And then they do different stuff on different days, like different intensities, and you start to see that pattern too when you go often enough. So
yeah, right.
It's been
so how many days a week are they training?
Well, they're there 5 days a week, but they're only out in the field training 3 days a week.
Right.
So they do, but they're in doing the gym and all the other stuff other times.
okay.
They do 3 2.5 hour sessions on the park every week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, which is, and then said, who knows how much gym work and other stuff. And then the rest of the time is sitting watching, you'd imagine it's watching vision and learning how to do, how the coach wants you to do stuff,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine the amount of meetings these guys have to go to.
I can imagine.
I just started to feel a bit of a crotchety, crookedy thing at the back of my throat.
Right.
I hope I haven't got the Rona.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That wouldn't be good.
Bloody kid. Just starting to, just out of nowhere, just starting to feel a bit of that. Yeah. So, anyway.
Well, we should hurry up and talk some photography then while you're still with us.
Just in case, You never know. Did you look anything up? Did you spend hours of research?
No, I spent hours copying and pasting Paul Sutton's emails into my text document.
And he did nothing yourself. I even looked up some stuff this afternoon, Bruce.
Really?
What
did you look up?
I can't remember. No, well, first up, I would like just to have a look at, if you go to the very bottom of my list, somewhere.
Searching for Sugar Man?
No, the one, actually, we'll talk about that first, and then we'll go to my mate Andrew.
Yeah.
I was watching...
Searching for Sugar Man. That's
So you know the Searching for Sugar Man documentary?
Rodriguez,
Yeah, about Rodriguez. But I was, the other week, last week or something, I was curious about, because I knew the director killed himself.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I didn't know how, or if there was any other reasoning. So I thought, I'll just look into it a bit more. And it turns out, it's completely unexpected, and he jumped off a moving train, which is a fair way. I wouldn't have thought it's a particularly good guaranteed way of going.
No.
But unless you got into a pole or something coming out, those
into the path of a train coming the other way.
Yeah, that's a fairly good guarantee. But he jumped off but said, so you won an Oscar, and then, I don't know, decided to pop it. But I was reading about his journey a little bit, and they were talking about the Searching for Sugar Man documentary, and of course, before it came out, no one knew who this guy was.
Yeah, that's right.
He was famous after getting the Oscar, but before that, he was nobody. He was a wannabe documentary maker who'd never actually, really done any major stuff.
Oh, you're talking about the director. I thought you were talking about Rodriguez, right?
Oh, no, both, basically. But the director as well was
right.
not well known. But I didn't notice he was shooting the whole documentary on Super 8 film.
Right.
Now, that's, bloody expensive.
Okay.
Because your Super 8, each spool lasts 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You get 3 minutes of footage, and I'm thinking it's costing $40 or $50 for that 3 minutes.
Wow.
So it's not a cheap.
Does that include the developing, or is that just the film stock?
We usually included the developing back in the day. So we could buy it with or without, but usually it included the developing.
Right.
But he ran out of money, X amount of time into making the documentary. So he filmed the rest of the documentary with his iPhone, but using a Super 8 app, a little app that emulates what it would look like to film with a Super 8 camera.
Right.
And you will not know, having watched that documentary multiple times, there's no point where I go, oh, well, that's a change in quality I'm not saying the thing's shot in, it's not like in 4K resolution anyway, but there's no point where I've gone, oh, that's the part done with the phone. So I watched it again just to see if I could pick up any point. Can't tell.
Yeah, right.
But it's an amazing, an Oscar-winning documentary.
Yeah. Parts
of it shot with an iPhone with a simulated Super 8 bloody app running on it, which I thought was pretty cool. So that was my Searching for Sugar Man, just showing what's capable. It's not the tools, the tool using it, as I always say.
Absolutely.
Now, my mate Andrew Studer has been doing some freaking amazing. Just click on that link.
Yeah.
And look at this photo that comes up.
Loading it up as we speak.
So he's been, the last few years, been shooting this book called Space to Rome.
Okay.
And his last few images has been shooting. It's just been un-effing believable.
Yeah, right.
So it's basically a man in a spacesuit, and he puts him into all sorts of unusual locations. So on the one that hopefully comes up on your screen is him underwater in a jellyfish school.
Oh, wow.
So Andrew's underwater shooting this.
Wow.
I don't know what they call these things. It's not a school. It's a something of jellyfish.
Right.
A happening or something like that. It's called.
Wow.
What an amazing shot is that, hey?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it's underwater. I mean, as far as the clarity of the guy and everything else, I mean, the detail's excellent.
Yeah.
You would know you're shooting through a stack of bleeding water. But if you scroll down, because he went down to Antarctica just to film this guy among the penguins in Antarctica. Yeah.
Nice.
But about 4 or 5 images down, there's one where he was out storm chasing. And got this, how amazing is that?
That is awesome.
Just epic. And then a few further down, he went to Iceland to a volcano that was exploding just to shoot against the lava flow and the one with all the lava exploding behind the guy.
Yeah.
It's just remarkable.
That is awesome.
So his photography stuff is just this is the guy I met on the bus in India. Yeah, that we took around and happened to just pick up and said, and years ago did this amazing shot of a rock climber standing in front of an eclipse.
Yep.
And this is his latest work. It's just remarkable. Some of the locations he gets to is just
awesome.
Just, I mean, and his post-processing techniques, really good sympathetic. Yeah, it's not over the OTT.
No, it's beautifully done.
Editing, yeah, and but the clarity and the detail is just epic. So I just wanted to share his work in our first person we hate for the year.
Nice work, Andrew.
It's just beautiful. We should get him on the podcast.
Oh, I love the one on the sand dune.
Oh yeah, with the big the S shape.
Yeah, that's great.
And the one below it too. That below that and below that.
Yeah, and they're all great.
Below that and below that. But there's that one in this abandoned city. A few more down.
Oh yes,
abandoned clay city.
Nice.
In Iran. He spent ages in the deserts in Iran photographing for this series last year.
Wow.
Yeah, the landscapes are just...
So how's he funding this?
I have no freaking idea. I don't know. Is he just as rich as... He did do... I know he also spent... I saw on his highlights for, I think, the last year or the year before, he spent a couple of weeks or a month living on a glacier in Alaska or something to film. I can't remember what it was he was filming. They had to camp out on this glacier for ages.
Wow.
Oh, just when his book finally comes out, I expect a free copy. I mean, I'll have to buy a copy, I mean. There's different people inside the suit at different times. You kind of get different people that...
it's like the Stig. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whoever can get on the day. But but he just did a big thing for National Geo. So I imagine they pay reasonably well, you would have thought.
Yeah.
So capturing a glacial time lapse on America the Beautiful, he was filming. Oh, Disney, not the imaging. So for Disney.
Right.
He's photographing bobcats for America the Beautiful.
There's an image here where I don't think the guy in the spacesuit is in the shot.
Yeah, possibly. There's a few just landscapes in there too.
Right. Okay.
But they're not going to be. They're not
I was thinking,
in the
what are we? Are
book,
we into Where's Wally territory now? Because I can't find the guy.
But he's got a video of that series too, with the guy walking along in this epic, American landscape. So you got definitely worthwhile scooting through his video reels.
Yeah,
as well,
nice.
Because they are just fabulous. You could lose yourself there for a little bit of time. So we'll show him because he's the sweetest, loveliest guy ever.
Yeah.
So we hate him even more. Yeah, he's young, talented, sweet, all the bad stuff. Then I came across on Peter Pixel's website, the lovely Peter. The photographer captures stunning shot of the International Space Station crossing the Moon's crater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How amazing is that?
I'm thinking there was a heck of a lot of planning for that.
Oh, you'd have to be, yeah. Yeah. It's probably off, he's filming, he's filming, getting this beautiful shot of the moon and bloody photo bomber straight to the middle, Or he's getting this lovely shot of the space station, bloody photo bomber, the moon gets in the way, jumps in behind, hello, look at me, I'm a bright thing, who knows. I'm sure there's a story there. I'm sure it's got a bit of a story about what the guy does, but it was a pretty cool shot, I thought, and definitely worthy of a bit of a look.
Definitely.
Then I saw that Kojak. I thought that this is my interest. The young people who listen to our podcast, so no one.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any young listeners, Bruce. Kodak poised to raise the price of film up to 40%.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, film is going up and up and up and up and up. I heard whilst I was talking about young people and their trendy stuff that they like to do, that the biggest trending thing for the young'uns in America at the moment is to go and get like the old late 90s basic digital cameras and use those instead of like the 2 megapixels and 1.3 megapixels and stuff. That's their jam at the moment, and I'm not sure that's what the terminology they would use. But
so I'm thinking another 5 years, my Minolta 7D is probably going to start picking up some value. It's a 6 megapixel.
Well, it's probably too much.
Well, that's why I say another 5-10 years it'll be.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. If it was a 1.2 meg, it might have been okay. Okay. Then I saw possibly the lamest use of a cultural icon of my life, that Polaroid have released the David Bowie special edition Polaroid film.
Huh?
Where the frames that surround the picture have David Bowie themes on them.
Right.
Yeah, I yawned too when I saw it too. It's like, really? Who is looking after the David Bowie bloody estate and allowing this sort of shit to happen?
And what they should do is they should do an April Fool's version where they sell it as film, but every time you develop it, it's just another picture of David Bowie.
It's just exactly sort of preloaded. Yeah, that would be okay. But has this? There's 8 photos to a box.
Yeah,
and there's 10 different types.
Right.
So if you want the whole set, you've got to buy at least 2 boxes. Which is, at least that's good marketing as far as that's concerned, you know, if no other reason, you know. The last thing, I actually saw a Sony lens I thought was pretty darn sweet. Okay. And it's something I've often lamented for many a year, how the 24 to 70 lens that people love, I just can't abide it. It just does nothing for me as a focal length. The 70's okay, a little short, but okay. But the 24's never ever wide enough.
No.
Yeah. Sony's got a 20 to 70 f4, and I reckon that's about spot on.
Yeah, nice.
20 to 70. I mean, 20 to 85 maybe would have been nice, but yeah, I'm a realist. It's certainly a step in the right direction. But I reckon, all the times I've been frustrated with 24 to 70 at 24, I reckon that 20 would have absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, right.
So I was really impressed. It's a brilliant focal length, you know. And you kind of think, you know, these camera companies, they've got to stop just doing the same stuff over and over and over again. Yeah. You know, don't release another 28 to 75, another 24 to 70, another 70 to 200. I know there are a few variations out, like the Sigma's 60 to 600 and stuff like that. But yeah, start to push the envelope a little bit more, you know. And I think that 20 to 70, I thought was a fabulous piece of kit. Yeah. So if anyone's using Sony and wants a really versatile carry-around lens, I reckon that'd cover a lot of stuff.
And I think in the current market, choosing to do f4 over f2.8 is probably a smart move, because they'll shift more units because it's lighter and cheaper than if they tried, to do 20 to 70 at 2.8.
And I don't, I don't know. I'm not sure what the target market would be if they were trying to do 2.8. I mean, if you did Astro, I don't know. But I mean, the f4's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been shooting a lot of the f8. You know, all the big lens stuff. I mean, it's all f8. You know, it's other than today when it was actually bucketing down with rain and it's almost pitch black. You know, it's. I mean, a 20mm lens. You're not looking for blurry background anyway. You know. No. So, and again,
it's like my 70 to 200. You know, I bought the f4 version of the Sony. You know, and honestly, there's probably been one shoot with a model where I kind of thought, oh, geez, I missed the 2.8. You know, but out of all the times I've shot with that lens, there's probably one instance where I sort of missed that extra stop. You know,
nothing. Yeah. So, I used to use the Canon 70 to 200 f4, and significantly smaller and lighter than their 2.8, and brilliant. They're super sharp, super sharp. And, I can't recall many a time again where I'm going, oh, I really wish I had the 2.8, you know, because most of the time I'm shooting at 200 f4 anyway, and the blur background's pretty darn good. Yeah, it's pretty darn good. And if not, I can usually manipulate the background enough to give me depth where it's not an issue, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was pretty impressed. So
nice.
That was it.
Well, Paul Sutton sent me an email just yesterday, actually, with a couple of links. The first one, he said, the most important photos of the year because dogs.
I saw these photos, funnily enough, but nothing to do with. I didn't see any links. I just came across it a couple of days ago.
Right.
I thought, oh, gee, I'll have to remember to do it for the podcast.
So this is dogphotography.awards.com, and it's the winners for 2022. And I've not even looked at these.
Oh, look at them. They're great.
Yeah,
the first one that came up, I just loved. You know, it was just a dog almost perfectly horizontal. Yeah, going over a jump. I thought that was a brilliant shot.
Yeah.
What I liked about a lot of these images was the variety was very good.
Yep.
But there's some it's not just a lot of just cliche stuff, you know.
No.
But I do like the one with the Dalmatian and all white surroundings. It's a beautiful shot. It's like if you scroll, it's like in the middle on that.
Yep.
But I really like the underneath. There's a black and white one looking up underneath the cheeks and chin of a dog, and it's all just these ripples and I don't know what kind of dog it is, but it's. I thought it was a really cool shot, and the one next to it with this fancy hairdo. You know? So I just thought some good. Obviously, they're good because they won the awards, but it's like so many times you see shots in these things, you're like, oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
But at least there's a fair whack there that was just really nicely done. You know?
Yeah. And some great use of light in some of them too.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Oh, okay. I thought there was.
Give me an example. So I can see if I feel the love.
The one you mentioned about the studio shot in the middle with the hairdo.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
nice,
thought that was well lit. I thought the one to the right of that with the little pup in the pair of hands was well lit.
Yeah, that's nice.
The one on the next row down with the girl and the dog.
That was just too crappy cliche. Look, the light is nice. The shot is just too cliche, crappy. Yeah.
Okay.
Explain the story to me, Bruce. What, is that a train carriage you're sitting outside?
I think it's a train, yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, why does it have to be a story? Why can't it just be a nice image on its own?
I want to know why there's a train there.
I don't know.
I want to know if you're going to put an element into a shot.
Why?
I want to know why.
What? Yeah, okay, well.
That's the way my brain works. I'm not putting something in my shot unless it means something. What? Does the dog work at the train station? Does she meet the dog at the train station?
Maybe.
Does she catch the train every day in the dog? But the problem is there's no answers. And that's not good either, yeah? It's just to me, it's a prop to elicit a response. And I don't really like that, you know?
Okay.
I would like it if there was a reason for that train to be there, you know? Where's her bag? If she had a bag there, and it was like she was saying goodbye to her dog. Cliche, but it would have some reason for the frickin' train to be there. Otherwise, it's just an excuse to try and make it interesting in my book, you know?
Okay. I don't feel like the train is there to be interesting.
But then why is it there? Look, compositionally, it's taking up half the frame.
Yeah, see, I would have cropped it tighter.
Yeah, but then what's the point of having that location?
She's got to be somewhere.
It's lit by flash, so you could have done that anywhere.
Yeah, but, you know, you've got the nice texture of the cobblestones under her feet, which is great, and maybe that was part of, you know, it's just a, you know, nice texture on the ground.
So to me, it's just trying too hard.
Okay.
It's trying too hard to be cool. I agree. If you crop it, I'm just going to crop it with my hands here. Yeah. First, by cropping, the dog becomes a lot more dominant. Yeah, which I do like.
I'd have taken some off the right-hand side and probably, you know, most of off the top.
No, so I took none off the right-hand side.
Right.
I took all the left-hand side away.
Yeah,
right up to her knees.
I'd go the other way, because if you take it off the left-hand side, you push her into the vertical middle of the frame, or the horizontal middle of the frame.
That's fine.
If you crop the right-hand side, then you sort of push her to the right-hand edge.
Yeah, and then what's your background?
Well, you're going to get less of the black carriage that she's sitting on, and you're going to get that yucky yellow carriage off in the background.
Yeah, you're going to get a yucky yellow carriage with strange curved lines and shiny things.
Yeah.
And if you chop the top off where you don't see the door handles, that's a train. It doesn't make any sense. It's a bright distraction to the image that's going to draw
you
your eye.
You were just saying that the train had no purpose being there in the first place.
If you're going to include that back carriage, if you're going to crop the way you're going to crop, at least that back carriage is, you understand what it is in relation to the rest of the carriage. As soon as you get rid of those handles of the carriage above it and have that as your background. So here's the thing: get your fingers.
I'll do it.
Put it on the screen.
Yeah.
And touch the top of the back carriage and the bottom of it.
Say what?
Put your hand out to the screen.
Yeah.
Put your fingers on the carriage, on the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Get the size of that carriage. Now put it over her and the dog. So keep your fingers, move them over. See, they're almost exactly the same weight. They're the same size.
Okay. Yep.
So the size of that carriage in the background and the size of her is almost exactly the same.
Right.
So the balance in the shot.
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably the best stuff we've talked about in the podcast of the year, Bruce. You know, probably the only good stuff we talked about in the podcast of the year.
Okay.
But, so it's probably you have a weight issue straight away.
Yeah.
If you crop from the
I think the weight issue is as.
She's not fat. What are you saying?
Is as much the fault of the colour of that carriage in the background as its size.
Well, the size is the size. If it was a different colour but half the size, it wouldn't be a weight issue because it's a different size. Yeah, imagine the carriage was only as big as from underneath the black window frame. Okay, so imagine the top of the carriage is all black. Then it's not a weight issue anymore because it's half the size of her.
Sure, and it'd still be distracting, but not as badly.
But it's not what I was saying.
Yeah,
I was saying the weighting in the image becomes the issue.
Yeah,
so the balance becomes an issue because the weight of that object in the background, the size and how much mentally it occupies the frame. Distracts completely from it because it starts to dominate her.
Yeah,
and if you illegally download that photo and play around with different crops, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
Straight away. Whereas if you crop from basically her kneecaps, so just put your finger over at the end of her kneecaps or your hand, so it blocks out that carriage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And now see your eye doesn't go any further than her anymore.
Yeah, right.
Your eye stops at her and the dog, where if you crop the other side, your eye goes straight past into the carriage at the back.
Yeah.
So you're forcing the reader into a completely different story by left or right crop.
Okay.
And if the whole point is to put that person with that dog and then light them there, you don't want the eye going past it.
And I actually think the biggest issue is that white blob at the bottom. I don't know if it's a light or what it is, but
pressure plate or something. Exactly. That's also, so that's the thing. Your eye just keeps on, and you'll find. So once again, by raising that point, the chair she's sitting on becomes a leading line that leads your eye straight to that rectangular light spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a line your eye can't help but follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas if you chop off at her knees, that line really doesn't go on. It's a little bit of a highlight just above her legs. I would tone that down in post.
Yeah.
So your eye doesn't get pulled beyond that.
Yeah.
But a massive compositional variation. And you still get the nice cobblestones. You still get the nice
it would have been nice to be able to just rotate the camera just 10 degrees to the right, so that the left edge of the frame was actually where the black carriage ended.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that could have been also just. It doesn't even need to be the rotation. You can keep exactly the same angle, but step further back and zoom in.
Right. Yeah.
Like that. By stepping further back and zooming in, your angle of view behind her narrows.
Yep.
And it achieves the same problem. So if you want that particular angle because you like the way the chair she's sitting on leads into the shot, that's fine, but step further back and zoom in and it'll have all the effect that you want.
Yeah.
So this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Whew. That was a mistake. I'd like to apologise for offering any sort of useful stuff on our podcast.
And then there's a finalists tab. I was only looking at the winners tab.
Oh, really? I should just say that's the first and last time for the year.
Yep.
We'll be doing anything useful like that. So,
there's some good finalists too.
Oh, I've already gone. I've already left it.
Oh, have you? Okay.
No, I'll come back and say I'll click on it again. Here we go. Doggy.
So middle row, third image down, the spaniel on the footbridge.
No.
Don't like it?
Try hard. I like the one above it because I think the dog's cute. But it's like the one on the left. Like the one on the left to the Spaniard is that stupid little white piece of fluff ball. In the
lavender.
Try hard. Yeah, try hard.
Yeah.
The one to the right.
Not lavender. What are they? Lupins? Is that what they're called?
Lupins in a bunch. For those Monty Python people among us, the one to the right of your spaniel is there's some beautiful lighting.
That's great. Yes,
yeah, that's very cool. The seriously try hard. The one in the middle below your Spaniard.
Yep.
With the but it's pretty cute.
Two dogs on the rock outcrop with
and the one next to it on the hay bale.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so now see your basset hound. You think what it is with the walkway what is behind it.
Yeah.
Then go to the next row down, the first one on the left.
Yeah.
Basically the same shot, just slightly different angle, different dog.
But they've gone for a very symmetrical composition where the one I mentioned.
It's the same idea, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting the subject in a tunnel with repeating shapes.
Yeah.
It's low-hanging fruit photography.
For sure.
As is, laying the white dog in the purple stuff. You know? There's not as much art in that, you know?
Yeah. I like the bottom left-hand one where he's just looking down on the dog amongst all the autumn leaves.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was deliberate that the colour of the dog sort of gets lost in the leaves.
I'm quite sure they scraped all those leaves into that spot specifically.
Definitely.
For that reason.
Definitely.
But see, to me, the far better shot is the one next to it because it's far more real.
Yeah.
It shows a lot more personality of the animal.
Yep.
I can imagine the dog doing this, especially if the owner left.
Yeah.
He's going to work in the day. This is what the dog does looking out the window every day.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of emotion and imagery in that. You know,
Yep.
Let's look at the action ones. Next lot down, some pretty cool shots in there. I always admire people who can do this sort of stuff. With
absolutely.
The action is so good. You know,
Yep.
so hard to nail.
Capture. Yeah, definitely.
To nail this stuff. Man, there's some beautiful shots there too.
Yeah.
Then we go to the studio.
Oh, so now we're seeing the winners as well as the finalists. Okay.
Yeah, they're in between. The studio stuff's beautiful. Some lovely shots there. Yeah, there's one with a dog with a hat on.
Yeah.
And then the one next to it looks like a supermodel in a chair.
Yes.
It's very cool. There's some fabulous shots. Then dogs and people. I always find these a bit... Like the one with the kid with the lantern on the suitcase, that's just garbage.
Have I found that? Oh, yeah. The
dogs and people, that's the Jack Olsen, I think it's called, Studios, lighting system going on there, you know, so it's this cliche.
I kind of like the bottom left-hand one. I know you're going to hate it, but...
The one with the dog and the lantern and the street.
Is that the one that you were talking about, or were you talking about the one in the top?
The very top one,
yeah.
But you may as well say the same thing for the one on the bottom.
What I like about that is that they've, deliberately shot it low key, which I think works really nicely.
It looked fabulous on some black velvet, like the Elvis pictures or the hula hula dances. Yeah. Those lovely things from the 70s, Bruce. Charles Dickens, is it? Please, sir, can I have some more? Come on, it's. The problem is that the emotions they're trying to play at. This is like an Ann Geddes photo, with the kids a bit older. I don't know, it just doesn't. They're just too beautifully done, beautiful art, great lighting, great post processing, soulless to me.
Right.
It's just because it's all ticking boxes of emotion. I need this angle. I need this light. I need this mood. I need this. The dog's going to look like this. I'm going to do this with it. It's ticking boxes to elicit responses.
Okay. Let me play devil's advocate here.
Please do.
Because I'm pretty sure I've heard these words out of your mouth exactly in the past. That in the process of getting better, sometimes you need to do all of these cliche shots to develop your own skill.
Into an award.
Okay.
Learn the techniques, then create something authentic.
Okay.
The problem is there's not one shot here of person with animal that to me elicits much reality. I don't know. That's
harsh.
Set up. It's true. To me, there's nothing there that speaks real. Maybe the redheaded girl with the
dachshund
cute dog. Yeah. No, on the right hand side of that.
Okay,
the Charles Dickens, where it's just quite a natural. She's laughing, dog's looking stupid.
Yeah.
Late afternoon light.
Yeah.
That's a real photo.
Yep.
But the rest, I don't know. They're contrived.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, just a little too much.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I contrive every damn photo I've ever taken is contrived. This is why I don't awards. I expect better.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for someone to be the pinnacle of what's the best human with dog photo, I want it to be a bit more real.
Right.
That not manufactured. I don't know. Did I mention I'm old and grumpy? Right. Next.
Paul's second story, he sets this up by saying his wife is a marine biologist. He has 2 fish tanks and he's kept fish for ages. He does underwater photography.
Just because she feeds his fish every day in his fish tank doesn't make her a marine biologist.
He says, don't use flash in aquariums. I've scuba dived in Atlanta Aquarium, one of the aquariums posted, and the whale sharks are amazing. This story is, the heading is fish killed by flash photography. This is why flash isn't allowed at aquariums. And then the subheading is startling footage has emerged that shows a fish killing itself after being dazzled by camera flash at an aquarium.
The fish thinks it's prey and they charge towards it and smash their head into the glass.
Oh.
Apparently.
Oh.
It does make you think that if you went out fishing at night, don't take rods, just take a flash gun and they'll jump into the boat.
Well, I remember my grandfather taking me down to Mandurah in Western Australia, where there is this, under the road bridge that goes over the estuary, there is a boardwalk underneath the road bridge and people fish off it. And what we used to do was we would hang a gas lantern off that, and you basically just stand there with your net and catch the prawns, because the prawns would come up.
Is that your grandmother? You said you go down there with your grandfather and put a light there and stand there with the net. Is the net your grandmother?
And the prawns would just come to the surface for the light,
that's how you
and
catch
you just
prawns.
scoop them up.
That's how you catch prawns. You go prawn, you do the same for flounder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, the light is an attractant. Yeah. So I guess it kind of works the same, doesn't it? Flashes and other sort of light forms.
Apparently.
Poor things.
Yeah, so anyway.
But you know what? If a place says no flash, don't use no flash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But people, they don't know how to use the cameras properly. They turn it on, they get excited, take a photo, and
that's it.
It's on auto flash or whatever.
Yeah.
It might not be malice. It might just be accidental
stupidity.
That's it.
Well, mate, good to talk to you again.
You're just saying that.
No. So we will talk to you in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Thanks for tuning in 2023, every one of you.
Absolutely. And you get out on that push bike and...
I'll be out there in the morning if it's not piddling down with rain or 400 degrees.
Excellent.
Because it's going to be one or the other.
Oh, mate, all the best.
Take care, all. Bye.
See ya.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.